the reason why I say that is that my gran in Jamaica would, she was a Rasta. So she outwardly, the culture, I would have said in my late teens, yeah, my great grand Rasta woman. But actually, when I kind of look back at some of her practices, she had Egyptian tarot cards. She spoke to nature in a way that I haven't seen people do over here. Like it seemed like she had a personal relationship with our front and back garden. She died 106, 107. She was blind, I think, for the last 3 or 4 years of her life, but she knew where everything was. I didn't know she was blind. As a 4, 5, 6 year old, I had no idea. So I was exposed, and I think the teachings, for the most part, I mentioned earlier, of a priest and a warrior. So I was exposed to the DeLawrence books, for example, L.W. DeLawrence books. So he had the Obia Bible, the Master Key. These were books that were banned in Jamaica for years.
I see a guy on YouTube having some debate with somebody, and he's talking about D. Lawrence, and I didn't know what the talk was. Yeah. He's probably talking about some demon thing.
He's an American occultist.
In culture,
he's American.
In Jamaican culture, is that see because he was talking like in Jamaica. Jamaicans know D. Lawrence. You don't play with that. You don't da. I was like, wow, what is this D. Lawrence? I was proper thinking, what is this? I had to Google it, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There was banned books. So I was exposed to the Seventh Key of Solomon that has kind of loads of sacred geometry in it. So I used to do on a graph paper sacred geometry. I mean, I didn't call it sacred geometry. It was just art at that time. It's only kind of looking back that actually it formed the basis of my meditation. So breathe, though you spoke about breath work in your boot camp. These are things that I was taught as a child. Now, I would say that was a form of initiation.
I mean, if you define it the way you define it, then it is in a sense. So
I guess then in my late teens, early 20s, when I was kind of...
I suppose it's like a structure. I think that's part of the definition of initiation. There's got to be a structure. It's specific. We're doing a specific thing to bring you into a specific way at a specific level.
And sometimes through initiation, you're not always told what that next level is.
Which is what we're going to go into.
But even if you're not told, there is a specific thing attached to it. You might not know, journey, but the people initiating you know exactly what you are being initiated to, what level, what it's for. There's a code. There's a code to what we're doing, and that's that.
So should I go for my first one?
Yeah.
So the Order of Melchizedek, and I say order, I loosely say the term order because in terms of the structure, the Order of Melchizedek speaks about understanding your personal divinity. So what kind of spirit guides, what specific inherent traits that do you have that can be nurtured. So in that respect, the Order of Melchizedek teachings that I experienced as a young teen wasn't prescribed in the way you describe an initiation. I don't think that there was a structure to how I would form on the other side of the initiation. It was just, I was given learning material, reading material,
to study it, figure out.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I want to mention about maroon culture is that we still see religions as schools of thought. So you were supposed to learn as many schools of thought as you can and practice the one that resonates most deeply with you.
So the Order of
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek.
So Melchizedek in biblical folklore was the king of Salem, taught Abraham how to kind of understand and observe the divine. And I think that's the...
So what, sorry, I was going to say, what is that?
What, the order?
The Order of Melchizedek.
So this is the thing, it's when I say order, so I said loose, because there isn't, in the same way that you might find liturgy in Masonic law, or you might find...
I don't know what that is. So
you might find writings. So Manly P. Hall, for example, wrote books for 33 Masons. They're in public consumption now, but at the time, it was required reading for anyone that's kind of going through Masonic degrees.
Journey,
So a lot of those books and documents where we still practice oral traditions, we was open to learning these schools of thought, and I think it gave me an ability to critically think about the religious aspect of I guess modern society. To be fair, when I'm first having conversations with friends in people's houses as a young person, I didn't realize it wasn't something that was popular to talk about. It was not cool to speak about esoteric thoughts and approaches in Christian houses. Like I was told, I'm a juju man. I come out of the house. Don't want our youth playing. Yeah, and I think.
So before you go, what is the order? What is that?
So that I say order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek is a body of teachings. So I guess the mythos behind it is that Melchizedek was one of the archangels. This is mythos. I don't necessarily subscribe.
So this is in the Christian logic, in the Christian theology.
I guess it's esoteric Christianity, because you won't find, other than Melchizedek as a king of Salem and a teacher of Abraham, you won't find anything else in the biblical canon.
Because I never heard of this until you mentioned it, and I googled it. I didn't know what it was. I forgot to ask you one day.
Yeah, you won't find a lot. So there is a teacher, Drumvalo Melchizedek, and I wasn't aware of his work when I was younger, but I do think, the work around the flower of life, the work around sacred geometry, the work around alternative world history, this is like the corpus of the order of Melchizedek. So I was actually initiated in the School of Remembering, which was the first. For many years, I couldn't read or take in European literature seriously.
So it's just a different take on Christianity. What, like, was there a guy that came with this?
Well, that's why I mentioned Drumvalo Melchizedek now, because I think before Drumvalo Melchizedek in probably the 90s came with the kind of a few books and I guess not dogma, but a very specific curriculum. So there was kind of breath work, meditation, chakra cleansing, third eye opening meditations. These are the things that I was doing in my late teens. But the reason why I mentioned Drumvalo Melchizedek is because for a long time, as a person, as a Maroon, I didn't take some of the European New Age stuff too seriously until I was I was exposed to the School of Remembering. So I'd done a 3-day retreat, but we kind of had to read quite a few books before we got that. So I'm a accredited Opening the Illuminated Heart facilitator. So it's kind of breath work, chakra cleansing. And these are, I guess, tools I've used for my own spiritual and mindset peace of mind, but also, go straight to the thing.
And those